mental development here means towards purification of mind leading to awakening or wisdom, enlightenment. So when you develop mental purification, you are not acquiring knowledge. You are not developing knowledge. Knowledge is for the academic people. Knowledge is for people who want to use it to boost their self-esteem, to make themselves like they are very smart, very intelligent. It's for the intellectual, for the academician, or they say for scholarly spiritual people. They are more interested in theoretical dhamma. So if you use your mind in that way, then no use. Then that mental development is not a development of the mind through awareness, through consciousness, through a stage of purification. Purification means you not only clean up the mind, you straighten your view, you develop wisdom, understanding. Then you, with the understanding, become transformed. Then you understand life clearly. You are no longer deluded. Then through the understanding, your mind becomes different. It can awaken. It can be liberated from all this. So this aspect is very important. But then the question that Angie asked is more towards what they call the world. The world, he said, the mind is so powerful. You can use it to develop science, probe the star, the universe, all those things. Then sometimes you can also abuse this mental development, like the scientists. What do? They come up with all the very, very destructive weapon of mass destruction. You know what is weapon of mass destruction or not? Last time I seen on the road. WMD couplet, very dangerous, weapon of mass destruction. So, when you acquire technology to develop all these very powerful weapons, like nuclear bomb, nuclear weapon, and even missile, even they nowadays a lot of this very sophisticated type of arms or machine gun. Then now they don't need machine gun. They can put a drone up there, very accurate. They facial recognition. They can just shoot at your brain here. So all this is possible through mental development. And most of this mental development, if you go into the knowledge field, which is thought-based, it will lead to more problem than good. So your question is, how do we overcome this problem? So it's very obvious. You develop your mind for greed, for self-esteem, to become famous, so that it can use for certain things that greedy people, violent people love. When you can assist them to produce this, they will reward you. Then they will keep you. But the moment you are of no use to them, they will discard you. Then sometimes because of what you produce, it has so much destructive power. The karmic consequence of it is very severe. That's why you can see why in this world sometimes certain people with the karmic conditioning come. Why they suffer so much? They have such terrible things. It's because in the past they could have participated in all this type of nuclear research and all whatever that is harmful to the world, to mankind. So to avoid all this is not to be greedy. And not to be greedy or selfish is to have the dhamma. Means you are here to develop the mental development, to arise the understanding, the wisdom, so that you can be transformed into a different type of human being. And you can be a blessing to all. Because once you have this wisdom or understanding born out of the Buddha Dhamma, which the Buddha had taught us, we become different. Then through this, you can avoid going into the wrong path. It's just like meditation. If you do thought-based meditation, you end up in psychic ability, jhana, everything. Then if you don't know how to handle it, it will lead to its consequence. And its consequence can be very severe. You get entangled yourself through your own selfishness, delusion. Then the Mara will come and attack you. Then karmic will also hit back at you. Because when you don't know how to use all this power, if you use it wrongly, negatively, it can give rise to a lot of complication. So everything boils down to understanding. When you understand, you will know how to choose the appropriate cultivation. When you don't understand, chances of going the wrong way is very, very great. Why? Because most people, they are selfish. They have this, what they call, great ambition in inverted comma. They want to become famous, but not through the proper way. So, driven by greed, driven by that desire, that craving, they do everything. So all this is a result of the untrained mind that doesn't have the understanding of life, that doesn't understand the spiritual law of karma. That's why they dare to do all these things. So this is the aspect as Dhamma friends or Kalyanamitta, we have the added advantage over other human beings. That's why as Buddhists, we are in fact very, very fortunate, very blessed, because we have this teaching that the Buddha has taught us, has given to the world free. So we should learn to understand it, then cherish it, then promote it, and use it to transform yourself, transform others and the world. But this is the only teaching that can really allow you to develop the wisdom to understand life. And when you understand life, you will know how to live life. Otherwise, you will get into trouble. You will entangle yourself in life. And you can never understand why life is so tough, so difficult, so full of problem. The word problem is like everywhere. But for those who have the Dhamma, there is no such thing as a problem. Technically, I use the word problem never exists. But people will never accept that statement. They will always tell you, in life, I got no problem. They say you must be a sansin if you got no problem. Sansin means what? We translate as deva, but actually to them it's not deva. No? Sansin means like Sen Xian, Xian, you know what is Xian? Enlightened being. So the sainthood people are called Senren. It is to us like Xian. Xian means you already go beyond. So all this, if you can have the condition to develop the understanding, it can really, really make big difference to your life. Because if you don't understand life, it's really, really miserable. Means you don't have the Dhamma. You don't have right view with regards to law of karma. You don't even know who are you, what are you, and how you function as a human being. You don't even know what that consciousness, that mundane mind is all about. then you don't even know that there is a form and mind, there is a true mind, there is a true nature. All this you don't even know. That's why you have a lot of avijja, ignorance. And the most powerful one is self-delusion, sakkaya ditthi. And that is the one that caught the living being. But the moment you have self-delusion, you believe you exist. There is a personality, an entity. And our society is like the moment you are born, they label you, they identify you. We have gone through. Give you a name, birth certificate. Then after that, the education system all same. You go to kindergarten, you go to school, they ask for your birth cert. Then they say, what is your name? What is your papa's name, mother's name? Then, what is your parents' occupation? So they keep on identifying you. Then as you grow up, they say you must go and do up a IC card, identity card. Then after that, they identify you again. Then you study, you grow up, they identify you again. You say you need a passport already. So they give you a nationality, a passport that identify all your race, religious belief and all those things. Then man or lady, male or female, gender, everything. Then after that, they also identify you through your job, your career. You are a teacher, you are an engineer, you are a lawyer. So everywhere is identification. Then you apply for a job. You take exam. Everything is about competition. The ego is there, the personality is there, the atta is there. So when this has been so strongly conditioned in you as a living being or human being, what happens is the egoic mind will create the greed. Where you want things, you want to own things, you want to possess things, you want to control things. That's how your evil roots of greed come to be. Your selfishness, your desire, your greediness, then all of your covetousness. And everything that is related to ownership become part of your egoic psyche. And that's how human beings behave. So the evil roots of greed surface. Then when things don't go your way, you get angry. The evil root of anger, hatred, envy, jealousy, resentment, dislike, everything come in. Like the last Thursday we went through the 3 evil roots. Then you realize when certain things happen you don't understand, you develop fear, worry, anxiety, and there is delusion. So all this is a result of that personality, entity, self-delusion. That's why the Buddha summarized all of suffering as the self-delusion, that condition, attachment or grasping to the 5 aggregates of form and mind. That's why the upadana khandhas, the 5 aggregates of grasping, lead to suffering, and there is the meaning. So all this you can go deep into it and develop the understanding of it, because we have the teaching. And you really have paid attention, go through the systematic process, like 3 phases of Dhamma. Pariyatti, the learning of the teaching. Once you have learned it, then you put it into practice, leading to Patipatti. Then when you cultivate and develop the awakening, you get to live the 3rd phase of Dhamma, which is the most beautiful, Pativedha. You get to reap the fruition of your hard work. And that is how life becomes meaningful, beautiful, and wonderful. Because you get to live the life of an enlightened being, free of all suffering. No more delusion. There is only inner peace, inner calmness, inner awareness and understanding. No more problem. The reason being, you will see things clearly as they are. Where things is just the way it is. Condition like that, things will be like that. Cannot be otherwise. So human being also same. their condition like that, mind state like that, they will behave like that. Then you start to understand, these are reality of life and existence. Everything is just the way it is, cannot be otherwise. That's why if I don't perceive any life situation or condition with negativity, then I don't have problem. But this is a reality. Condition like that, things will be like that. And I accept this reality. So, no more problem. At peace. But you say, no, Pativedha, the problem is still there, like disease. I accept this reality. But the disease is still there. So what? We already have the dhamma there. Well, this is the common reality of all mankind. You don't take care, if your karmic DNA is like that, when the condition is such, the disease and sickness will surface. Then you got two choices. Get angry, become miserable or fearful, develop more suffering. Yeah. You go and worry about it. Create the thought projection. Develop the unnecessary fear, worry, anxiety. For what? If you accept that reality means you are at peace. Well, this is something that has happened, like car accident happened already. What to do? Resolve it amicably, through wisdom. You act with understanding. That's why when I accept, I'm at peace. My mind does not stir. Then I got clarity. I ask myself what happened. Then I develop the understanding. Then I ask, what are my options? How can I resolve this amicably so that nobody gets affected karmic-wise? That is how the Dhamma free your mind. That's why it's never a problem. Whatever happens, you may think it's like doomsday is coming. No, it's just a reality. Like financial crisis or nature's disaster, when it hit, when it happened. These are nature's law, nature's condition. You are not the only one subject to it. But if you have the wisdom and the understanding, you can benefit from it. That's all. You need not suffer. Nature is such. So knowing this teaching, understanding this teaching can transform living being. Okay?
Yes. It's very true that Buddhists are very lucky. We use our mental cultivation to look inwards and understand ourselves and the world better, to live a better life, and benefit other beings. And I think the problem with maybe the world at large is because they don't look inward, they look outward, So there's a lot of discrepancies.
Correct. Because when you look outward, you are actually attracted to the external phenomenal world of consciousness. So the external phenomenal world of consciousness is unreal, not what you think. So if it's unreal, impermanent, and empty nature, then you give meaning because you are attracted to the external phenomenal world. Because your senses, or you look outward, you don't look inward. So there is no self-knowledge. There is no understanding of what is going on inside. It's always the inside that decides outside. It's not the other way around. So the deluded living being, they always experience the outside world. They hardly or seldom experience the inner world because they use thought. They are most of the time thought-based. And all this happens because there is this delusion that conditions them into heedlessness. So when you are heedless, you think a lot. When you are heedless, you are hardly mindful, hardly aware. Because the heedful never die. Why? Because the heedful is ever mindful, constantly meditative. That's why you are heedless, you are never mindful. It's the other way around. Then you are not in the meditative state at all. You are not able to even have the mind to meditate. So heedlessness is very dangerous. That's why the Buddha under Dhammapada verse 21 is that the heedless are as if dead. spiritually you are dead. You don't stand a chance. So it's very clear. So your sharing is very good because people don't look inward. But when you look inward, you must use awareness to be aware. Then only the wisdom arises. You don't go and look inward with the thought. You look inward in the thought, you know, you become what? Like the thought based on, I still got anger. I saw my anger. There is another thought recalling the earlier thought of anger. Understand? That is not mindfulness. When you are mindful and aware, reverse the light and shine within means you develop awareness from within. That's why awareness or mindfulness means from within you aware of outside. Then from inside, when you aware of outside, all the movement inside, you will come to know. Because this inside movement is the result of your content of consciousness. Then you realize the human being, the five aggregate form and mind, without wisdom, it always act wrongly. Act with delusion, heedlessness. It doesn't know how to act. Where it act according to memory, views, opinion, and condition. And this is what most human beings do. Then people always have this problem. They always ask me, but if I don't act according to memory, then how to act? Because your whole life you depend on memory. Your brain, without brain you cannot act. You must remember things. You must have views and opinion, religious belief, conditioning, all that. Then you just act accordingly. And this way to act is like very easy. No need to learn anything. Because it's like habitual tendency. Then they think that is the way. Because everybody also like that. Not only I get angry, everybody also get angry. Everybody also selfish. You think only me. So if you talk like that, means the thought is telling you. But when you develop wisdom, the understanding, then you realize what the Buddha taught us is very, very deep, very powerful. The Buddha said there is such a law, nature's law, such as law of karma. And what is this law of karma? Every day we have to reflect. Not only us, all living beings. We are all born of our karma, heir to our karma, conditioned and supported by our karma. And we are what we are because of our karma. So you reflect on this, then you realize your entire life depends on karma. So what must you do? You have to take care of karma. Take care of karma means what? Follow the advice of the Buddha, avoid all evil, do good. Then how to avoid all evil, do good? Keep the precept. How to keep the precept? You must understand what constitutes evil, understand? Then you must have mindfulness, awareness to be aware of the evil root. Then only you can keep your precept. Then only you can develop the meditation. That's why sati is always required. Then the essential dhamma is very important. So once you have all this understood, then to put it into cultivation is very simple. That's the meaning of look within. Shine the light within. Reverse the light. And develop the awareness from within. Then from inside, you become aware of outside. Initially, is you become aware of your internal emotion, movement. How does anger come to be? How does fear come to be? How can I understand it? Then you stay aware inside. Whenever fear arises, stay there. And then find out, what is fear? If you don't do anything, you realize that fear ceases. Then you realize, fear was never me. There are two reasons. First reason is, before there is fear, there was no fear. Then when there is fear, I develop the awareness, it ceases. Means what? Fear is dependent originating, condition arising, not intrinsic to my nature. Then I don't have any problem anymore, isn't it? Then I won't use that wrong word, isn't it? I still have fear. Meaning what? You deludedly associate with that fear, thinking that fear is you. Anger is you. All the evil roots are you. That's how the egoic mind become alive, very powerful. It's only through awareness, when you go through the awareness, that transformation inside, then you realize the Buddha's teaching is so beautiful, so profound. That's why he says feeling is impermanent. Sankhara, mental, emotion, they are impermanent. Rupang anicca, Vedana anicca, Sanya anicca, Sankhara anicca, Vijnanam anicca. And because they are anicca, they are anatta. Empty nature, not real, not a permanent, unchanging entity. Then when you start to reflect and contemplate, you realize all the teaching is so beautiful. They just stand up to investigation. And there is this faith, strongly enhanced, unshakable. There is this inner joy, inner understanding. Then there is peace. There is saddha, virya, sati. Then it will drive you on to cultivate. Once your spiritual faculty becomes unshakable, the mental hindrance ceases. And your mind is always in a meditative state. That's how cultivation can be perfected. And it's not difficult. It's very easy when you understand. But when you don't understand, you become gullible. You listen to this monk, that teacher, read this book, read that book, then don't know head or tail, rojak. Then what you do? I think this monk very famous. He said, use rising, falling, Buddha, use this, use that. Then you go and try everything without understanding. These are method and technique, nothing to do with the meditation. Then you become gullible. Which means you didn't investigate the teaching. You go into the patipati, cultivation without understanding, you become gullible. That's why they cannot develop the understanding. Once you have all this mapped out very clear, you will know what to do. Without sati, you cannot be mindful. Heedful. And when you are not heedful, the heedless are as if dead. Very clear. So whatever you do, start with sati. That's why saddha, virya, the third spiritual faculty, is always sati. Once sati stabilizes, it will become samadhi. Then only you can see things as they are to awaken, to develop the wisdom. So this is how the teaching manifests and allow you to awaken. So all this essential dhamma, if you cannot understand, or those who teach cannot understand, how can they teach you? Well, they themselves also don't understand. That's why they will teach you a lot of knowledge, theory, theoretical dhamma, and you cannot break free. That's why the initial year when I came out to share, I realized this is what is happening to a lot of cultivators. They don't have clear understanding. What is sati also, very few people understand. And what is apamada, heedfulness, also very few people understand. And the real mindfulness to see all this, and the essential dhamma that you have learned, or the Buddha had taught, you cannot link them all together. They came from all the right view. From there, it spin off and come out. And the basic right view is the Four Noble Truths. Starting with the first path factor of samadhi, right view with regards to the three spiritual laws. Kama niyama, citta niyama, and dhamma niyama. So when you understand these three, you understand the secret of life. That all the teachings spin out from there. I already explained many times. Kama niyama bring about the advice of the Buddha, the cultivation, everything. Then citta niyama explain to you the working of the mind, how you function as a human being, dependent originating, telling everything. So when you understand this, you know how you get into trouble. Everything starts with avijja. Because of avijja, your mind stirs, create mental activity, pacha sankhara. Then sankhara make contact with the brain, create consciousness. Then when consciousness arises without wisdom, right view and understand, you input the wrong content. That's why namarupang, five aggregate of form and mind, this becomes grasping aggregate. Yeah. Then because the namarupang, it has the sense basis, salayatana. Then the Buddha said, dependent on this sense basis arises contact. Dependent on contact arises feeling. And feeling without wisdom, you will condition craving. You cannot stop. That's why I say you cannot cut a feeling. Without wisdom, it will be conditioned into craving. That's why you need yoniso manasikara. Wisdom, initial wisdom at the moment of sense experience, to ensure the mind doesn't stir. Means feeling remain as pure feeling. You can be with the moment of feeling, stay there away. No movement at all. That is the power of the Dhamma. In the daily life, your mind can just be like that. It's just like you aware, then no need to use effort. The Dhamma, understanding and wisdom will allow you to cease the mind. It will not be drawn, entangled. Then the defilement, the moment its surface arise, that understanding straight away will cause it to cease. That's why you just say rupang anicang or sankhara anicang. There it is. So the yoniso manasikara is the wisdom at the moment of sense experience. When that sense experience come out, before your conditioned mind come and input the content and stir, now it cannot stir. Where this wisdom come out first, then it straight away no. All these are unreal, impermanent, lead to suffering. That's why empty nature or existence. The phenomenal world is a world of consciousness. It's an illusionary world, not what you think. So this wisdom is so powerful. The moment it arises, your mind will stay equanimous. It will not stir. It can accept the reality of the moment at peace everywhere, every moment, every instant. That is how the cultivation is to be developed. Without that wisdom surfacing, you cannot act. You cannot deal with life. That's why you act with wisdom, means you act with this initial wisdom. Then later when you awaken, the third turning wisdom is so potent, so powerful, it leads to complete awakening. Means that stability of wisdom has become so powerful, it will insight into phenomena and awaken. The mind that awakens, that wisdom is very penetrative. It will pierce through all delusion. It's no more first and second turning wisdom. First and second turning wisdom, if you develop it through your past, means in the past you have cultivated before. Then through the first and second turning, you can realize the enlightenment because you have done it in the past. So you inherit from your spiritual nature, it will lead to that insight. It will awaken straight away. That's why people with past cultivation, when they come, when they hear truth, like Hui Ning, immediately he awakens. He no need to meditate. He just hear the truth, he awakens. Then like my nature, when it came, my teacher moved the hand like that. My nature awakened to the three characteristics. How can it be possible? Because this one has done it before, and it has connected. The daily mindfulness is very stable, and the essential dhamma are all understood. That's why the moment it arises, the silent mind awakens. And all these are possible. So whenever it hears truth, it understands immediately. Like this, like I English educated. I don't even have any Mandarin base. But how come the Mahayana teaching my nature can understand? Especially Heart Sutta, Surangama Sutta. And even the Wuliang Shou Jing, Wuliang Yi Jing. The Sutta of innumerous meaning and the Sutta of infinite life. And all these are very, very unique Mahayana Sutta. not easy, even for cultivator. To really develop the ability to understand this sutta, you need really, really high level of cultivation and perfection. Okay? So look inward, you have to understand is awareness, mindfulness. Otherwise, it turns out to be words. Then, if you don't have it understood clearly, you don't know how to do. So the essential dhamma which I have gone through with you, and together with the Avijja Sutta, the 10 step, you follow the Avijja Sutta, I realize is easiest. Because the Avijja Sutta is very clear. And as Kayamitta, the first 3 you already have. A lot of the Kayamitta who are very serious, the 4th and 5th also they have already. Then 6 and 7 is automatic one, very fast. Then after that, when they do the 4 foundation of mindfulness, they transform it. That's why I used to tell you, your sainthood way is very, very easy, not difficult at all. Then after that, you have the condition. You want to plant the Bodhi mind, plant the seed of Bodhi, to walk the Bodhisattva way. That is the most beautiful. You can perfect yourself further. You can develop much, much deeper understanding of the teaching, of the possibility of the human mind, our nature. So it's just like what the scientists came to know. Our human ability to use our brain. Even very intelligent scientists like Einstein, all those things, do you know how many % of their brain they are able to utilize or not? More than that. Not more than 10. You can make use of your brain 8% and above, you are very good already. Because the rest is consciousness, understand? It's not thought. That's why this great thinker, scientists also, yes, they think when they are very creative with a clear mind, and they are very passionate about their study. They really think deep into it with a clear mind. I remember last time when I studied Form 4, Form 5, Form 6, you can be so attentive in your study, and I can just like whole day do my maths and science. I don't feel boring or tired. I had joy when I study them because there is so much thing inside there, and I realize my mind can concentrate and focus. But there is study. But when it comes to Dhamma, it's different. You have to go beyond that. So consciousness is much higher than what the scientist has gone in. They use their creative mind. When they are most creative, means the 4 bases of success, the 37 factor enlightenment, you remember the first 4? The first 4. First one is what? Chanda. What is Chanda? What is Chanda? Passion. Your passion. That thing that you like so much, you will go all out and study it. So because of that passion, they cannot be sleepy. The mental hindrance cannot disturb them. It's like they have this great passion. It's like they like this so much. It's like a faith that drives them from pursuing, understanding. That's why they will think deep into it. But this one still involves thinking. Do you understand? That's why they can only reach about 10%. The rest of the brain, when it's completely silent, the brain, without thought, then it arises the awareness which is beyond that brain. And that is the one that scientists cannot penetrate. You have to meditate. Because without that one, your mundane mind cannot collapse. It will obstruct you or obscure your seeing. It's like the sun's ray that shine towards our planet. How come not every day is sunny, clear, bright sky? Even sunny also a lot of clouds. Yeah. And what are these clouds? These are the things that obscure the sun's ray from penetrating. So what is the thing that obscure your true nature from shining forth? Your mundane mind, understand? With what? With all the emotion, with all the thinking, with all the stress, the various type of activity that is going on inside there, the heedless thinking, that fear, that worry, that emotion. So all these are the ones that obscure and block you. And your whole of your mind, mundane mind, is caught in all this mundane activity. That's why it can never be aware. You can only do one thing at a time. Either you are aware or you are lost in thought, preoccupied with all this emotion, fear, worry, anxiety, sorrow and anxiety and lamentation. So all this is what that hold you, prevent you from developing the clarity of mind, to be aware, to be with the moment, to have the inner peace, inner calmness, inner awareness and inner joy, to develop the wisdom and the understanding. So delusion and awakening is just the flip of the hand. When you understand, you awaken. When you don't understand, you are caught in all this mundane activity. The world of consciousness, the five aggregate of form and mind is so powerful. That's why you keep on clinging to it, holding on to it, give meaning to them. That's why they can cause you so much suffering and misery. You keep on creating all the wrong thoughts that condition your fear, worry, anxiety, sorrow, lamentation, the evil root, your frustration, your sorrow and lamentation, your unhappiness, your deep resentment and all those things. All this come about through ignorance and delusion. Okay? So with that, hopefully you all can develop deeper understanding. And I realize now, the single sharing of any class, the whole teaching not only lay out for you, it now can connect you to all the essential understanding. So that you go back, listen to all this attentively and write it out. Then you will map it out and you will realize that it's actually so easy. But because you never get it understood, you don't know how to go about doing the cultivation. I give you one example, you will know. This one is a very simple example, but you will know. Our Bodhisattva vow, the yellow card. If you have done it every day for 3 or 6 months, and you develop a clear understanding of it, without the card, you can write them out there. And all this you can remember them. Then you will know what that vow is, understand? If you have not done it, I ask you not to look at the card. You try to write it out. You can't even write it out. Even the 4 basic vows you find it very difficult to remember. That means you are not serious. You don't have the faith. You don't have the virya. You don't have the ability to reflect, contemplate and develop the understanding. If you have the understanding, the moment you read each and every of those aspiration vow and the 4 basic vow and all those things, including the blue book, you read the blue book, all the explanation is inside there. Then everything becomes so clear, so beautiful. So the essential dhamma is the same. If you cannot write it out, if you cannot really develop the understanding of it, how are you going to cultivate? Understand? You only read like a parrot with a card. Once without notes, without book, without any support, you are blank. That is what is happening to cultivators who don't understand. And they always use thought through memory, try to recall. When you understand, that's why every day I teach, I never prepare. How come? This is not knowledge. This is from the nature. Because it has understood. It don't need memory. It can just share like that, anywhere, any place. That's why any question you ask me, I can answer you. So this is how you should go in and develop. That's why be patient. Patipati, phase 1. Go into it. Understand it. When you understand, you move, you progress very fast. When you don't understand, you move, means what? You think you know. You think you're doing vipassana. That's why all the greedy cultivators do that. Oh, what is vipassana? Note rising, falling. If they don't know, means not vipassana. Like that, how to cultivate. Essential Dhamma also don't know. What is the meditation as taught by the Buddha also don't know. Dhammapada verse 21, 22, 23 also don't know. The heedless are as if they also don't know. So the most important thing about cultivation is what? Heedfulness. Before the Buddha passed away, he again reminded the monk, strive on with heedfulness. Apamadena, sampadena. So what are you doing? Are you cultivating heedfulness when you do your meditation? First, you must understand what is heedfulness. To be heedful, you need to be what? To be heedful, you need to be what? Ever mindful. Dhammapada verse 23. To be heedful, you need to be ever mindful. Plus, constantly meditative. Constantly meditative. What is constantly meditative? Means constantly cultivating the meditation. And what is the meditation as taught by the Buddha? Means constantly cultivating the Noble Eightfold Path. So if you know heedfulness is ever mindful, to cultivate Noble Eightfold Path, what must you do? You must train your mind to be mindful first. Sorry, this one should be ever mindful. So the moment you are ever mindful, then you are home. But to be ever mindful, you have to train your mind to be mindful first. You understand? And this is what the Buddha meant. Start with anapanasati. Train your mind to be mindful of the in and out breath. He never say focus. He never say note. He said breathing in, aware. Breathing out, aware. Means aware of the in and out breath. That's all. No need to do anything. No need to chatter inside there. Am I doing it correctly? Have I entered jhana? Have I developed piti, sukha, pasati? Forget about it. You are just to train your mind to be mindful first. Then after that you have to stabilize it to be ever mindful. That is what you're supposed to do. You ask most of the meditators how you start. You never understood this. You try all the method and technique without understanding. Do you realize? This point is it clear now? So everything you do about meditation, you ask yourself that question. Am I training my mind to be heedful? To be heedful, what must I have? I have to be ever mindful. So the first criteria of meditation is, am I training my mind to be mindful? Then, am I able to stabilize this? How to stabilize this? For anapanasati, you have to do until the anapanasati becomes so fine, so still, until the mind stops, like no more breathing. Means you realize paucity, the tranquility of mind, the stillness. When you hit that, only is ever mindful. But you are only ever mindful in the formal meditation. And you still need to take this out into the daily life. To have sati sampajana, means daily mindfulness, ever mindful in the midst of life. Where the Buddha said, the heedless are as if dead. If you only mindful when you are in the retreat or the formal meditation, the moment you come out, you go back to square one, then what is your chance of enlightenment? The moment you are outside, you become heedless again. The heedless are as if dead. Heedfulness is the path to the deathless. You have to be heedful all the time. That's why ever mindfulness, including your daily life. This is the part you have to do. And to do this, you need initial wisdom. That's why you need to listen to the Dhamma, constantly reflect, contemplate. The website is there. The audio file are there. The transcript is there. The explanation is there. All this, when you have really attentively listened with the faith, you will have a lot of joy. The saddha becomes very strong, and you write them out, and it becomes very clear. And the moment you are clear, how long do you need to make your mind ever mindful to develop daily mindfulness? You only need the first and second turning initial wisdom. Develop that. Contemplate, reflect, inquire. Like what I share with you. Why did the Buddha say this? How can I understand all this? The first noble truth, second noble truth, third noble truth, fourth noble truth, the first turning, second turning, third. Go through it. We are in the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. The Buddha mentioned very clearly. Even he himself, last time as a bodhisattva, he need to understand the Four Noble Truths in its three turning before he can claim that he is the enlightened one. The Buddha also have to do that. You think you're more special than the Buddha, no need to do. Where got such thing? If the Buddha has to do, you would have to do more, a lot more. True or not? Then after that, cultivating noble eightfold power is another big topic, understand? You have to start with right view. Why did the Buddha say the law of karma is right view? The law of mind, citta niyama, karma niyama, dhamma niyama. To go into it, all the essential teaching, the essential dhamma. And all this can be understood. That's why in the early day I reflected, I contemplated, and all this become very clear to me. That's why after that, the way I meditate very different, very unconventional. I never follow anybody. And the anapanasati just come to me and I just know what to do. I was exposed to rising falling too in the early day. I joined Sister Jing Ying's class. And that time only Burmese book most of the time. Some of them you have Thai tradition book until later on Ajahn Chah's book came. But all this is not important. Because when you are not gullible, for me, I want to understand what I do. If I don't understand, I don't want to start. Yeah. So very funny, I think that time I remember during the mid-80s or what, I remember. Mi Fong also attended the class, I remember. Sister Jing came there, I remember. The first few meditation class, he asked me to report. I never report rising falling. I report anapanasati. Then I say I was so calm. Everything was so... She got very excited. She kept on asking me. So what happened to your mind? How do you feel? And all this. Why? Because she can never do it. She can't do it. Then later on, many years later, I went to this Wat Hima Peng, this Long Potet. I saw the two of them there. Sister Jinke and the other girl, the Wisdom Center one. Mi Ching, or don't know what Ching, I forgot already. We met them there. You know what they told us. Well, I was so lucky. This Praku, he happened to take us around, and he's the nephew of Ajahn Tet, Long Potet. Long Potet that time 90 years old already. It's near to Wat Nalong there, Wat Hima Peng, near to your Wat Nalong. Then he passed away already. But when he was 90 years old that time, I went and met him because the nephew was there, and he went and seek his permission. He allowed all of us to visit him. And the driver that fetched us on also can never believe. He almost fainted. He said, "You people are so lucky." Then we pay our respect, we make our offering. Then after that we come out. I met the chief disciple, which is the acting abbot. Then he was with that lady, I think. Jingeng went with another lady, the Wisdom Center. Then she also recognized me. Then we talked. Then the monk asked. Then I remember 4 or 5 of us were sitting there. One couple was, the wife is a nurse in UH. The husband also passed away already. What is his name? I forgot already. The man passed away. Then 5 of us were there. He asked each and every one to report how we meditate. So I just say I develop the daily mindfulness. I develop awareness. Then I come to the understanding everything is not real. Even the 5 aggregate of form and mind is not real. You know what he said after that? He told all the 4 of them. He said, he did the correct one. He pointed to me. Yeah. He said, he has the understanding. He did the correct one. Then the 4 of them quiet, because they all describe different things. I describe daily mindfulness. I say I can be aware of many things. Yeah. Then he was so good. Do you know what he told me before he left me? He said, listen, finally, the 5 aggregate of form and mind also not there. Wow, I sadhu him straight away. I said, yeah, sadhu. Because I knew what that thing is. Who can say that? Unless he has done it. And why did he say, I'm the only one who did correctly? And that time Long Po Tet was very famous. He was the first line disciple of Achaman. So that was the thing that happened. And the way you understand is different. Because for me, I check everything. You can tell me whatever you like, but if I don't have that understanding, I will not even try and start. It's not going to lead me to the ultimate understanding. That's why I have my past to help me. At that time, my wife was with me. She can testify. A lot of things actually happened. Then, very strange. All the monks that I met, they look at our group. They know it's different. Then they always look at me. Because the way I conduct myself very different. My mind was so calm, so still, and I was fully aware. During that time, my awareness was like automatic. Throughout the day, I'm aware. In the midst of office, I'm working also aware throughout the day until I reach home, until I sleep. But I did my religious routine. That's why this one need to be developed through understanding and with the faith, Saddha Virya. You go all out, you will make it. Because this era, this window, this sadhana is very easy. So must have the faith. And just do, don't try to know. It's like something you see very important. You know why I move that way? Because to me, this is the most important thing. If I don't understand this teaching, I cannot awaken, I don't know how to live life. Then not only I suffer in this life, all my future coming, I have problem. At that time, in 1971, I have that understanding. That's why I go all out and look for the teaching. And that time, I only need somebody to tell me what is the mind. Nobody can tell me until I met Ajahn Yandra. And later on, of course, all the other guide and teacher. But the first one that actually helped me was Shen Hua's book, the Surangama Sutta. Then later when he came, after I take refuge, a lot of funny things happened. 1986, I remember Kuan Yin came with the message. That's how from that point onward I move non-stop, continuous cultivation after that. Inside, the thing already knew, must move. And Kuan Yin's message very simple. Not much time left. You must move fast. The message is just like that. She poured from the vase. The moment I saw that vase, I knew it was her. But it was an old lady, white shirt, everything. But in a place which is very colorful, very bright. Then he held out my hand, poured the tree from the vase. Is the triple gem. 3 of them double, very beautiful. He just opened up my hand, pour one by one in a straight line. He said, not much time left. You have to move fast. Just this message, and I immediately wake up. Then I knew. Straight away I prostrate, pay respect, with gratitude. Then I say, I will move. That's why from that day onward, I go all out to cultivate. Because the message came. Yeah. And very funny, Immediately after that, the book come, the guide come, the teacher come, everything come. That's why that saying is very good. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Very true, very true. So all the conditions just fall into place. Okay.